Okay, let's go find the perfect target audience. All right, so the place that we're going to start is Audience Insights that you find from inside your Ads Manager down here, right? You hit the Audience Insights right here. That's how you find that. So what you're going to do here is, remember what I said. You're going to use all three of these combined. So you're going to use Audience Insights. You're going to use the Ad Builder, and you're going to use Facebook Search. So before you start, though, go either, if you don't use Google Docs, just use either a Word document or preferably an Excel spreadsheet, and just name it whatever you want. So you might call it interests. This is what we usually call it, interests and audiences spreadsheet. So you've got your interests and audiences. And starting out, you want to just think about this as a brain dump, okay? So as you start to find audiences, you can just copy and paste them over here. And then down the road, you can start to maybe organize these columns into 3, 4, 5 different categories. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. Let's go into Audience Insights, and let's say we want to find somebody related to Frank Kern. So let's put Frank Kern in here, and now, inside Audience Insights, they've got 5 tabs up here, right? Or 6 tabs: demographics, page like, location, activity, household, and purchase. The one you're going to spend most of your time in is page likes data here. Okay. However, the cool thing about your Audience Insights is if you have a list, if you have custom audiences, like where you upload your list into Facebook, you can start to learn a lot by putting your custom audiences in here, and Facebook will tell you, demographic data and stuff like that, which I'll show you in a second here. But starting out, let's take a look at some of these tabs. So you can look at demographic, so 53% women, 48% men. Lifestyle data down here. This isn't going to help you as much with your audiences. But page, like I said, you're going to spend most of the time in here. Okay, location, you can see, where people are living, top cities, which is pretty cool. Atlanta, interesting. And then you've got activity, okay? This is kind of social activity, Facebook activity. You've got devices, okay, which is pretty cool. Look at that, 73% desktop and mobile, 24% mobile only, 3% desktop only. Okay, household, this is income, home ownership data, household size, home market value, spending methods. This is offline data. Okay, this is all data that Facebook gathers from third party. It's called big data. Okay, they have third party companies that Facebook has partnered with. They used to be called partner categories, but now it's just all inside your Audience Insights and inside your targeting. But that's how they get this data, and it's based on mortgage data, shopping data, like shopping rewards programs data, frequent flyer miles, credit card data. It's amazing. Retail spending, online purchases, different types of purchase behavior here, which is in market for a vehicle. I mean, this is powerful stuff here. So, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to mostly focus on, finding your interests, because your interest is really your low-hanging fruit. And that's going to be your top categories and your page like data here. So Tony Robbins might be a good interest, for example. Inside the ad manager, there's different types of behavior targeting, which I'll show you here. So if I'm going to create an ad, let's just say I want to increase conversions on my website. Let's select that, and let's just put, let's just select one of these websites. Let's go, say I want to drive traffic to my Facebook checklist page, and I want to track Facebook checklist downloads. We'll hit continue. And inside here, you'll see the different targeting. So notice that you can choose custom audiences here. So let's say I want to do all customers. I can do that, right? I can do all customers, all consultants, those types of things. You can do lookalike audiences. So target people that look like my customers, right? Those types of things. Down here, you have the interest targeting. This is where I might target, Frank Kern. So there's Frank Kern. Now look what happens when I type, let's X out of that. So if I select it, see it does the drop down here? These are all potential, according to Facebook, these are also potential similar interests that could work well, right? So these are all interests that you're going to add to that spreadsheet in a little bit. Behaviors over here, though, is the data I was talking about. The audience insights was showing up a little bit. So this is more behavior type of stuff. So this is automotive. You can find out, what if people purchased a recent motorcycle and what kind, vehicles, all this type of stuff. Business to business, company size. Look at this. By the way, you might not have this one available in your ad account. This might be mine because I got this added through our account manager. So you might not have this one here available. Super powerful. Eventually, you probably will, though. This is an extra partner category that they did. Seniority, executive, C-level, mid-management. This is powerful stuff. You can look through all here, and you can find out. You can do things like target somebody who, let's say, I want to target somebody with business services and also likes Frank Kern. So notice how my target audience is 28,000. If I take out Frank Kern, my target audience is 7 million, right? So you can layer things like anything from this section with this section over here, right? But at this point, right now in the regular ads manager, you can't do something like target somebody that likes Dale Carnegie and Tony Robbins. Let's take away this one here. So notice what happens on the audience size. Now Facebook is actually they're changing this. They've announced it. They're already doing it. But it's not rolling out in the regular ads manager yet. It takes a while. So notice the audience is 2.6 million. So if I take away Dale Carnegie, it goes to 2.1 million. So whenever I add somebody here, it just gets bigger and bigger, right? So you can't target somebody that likes Dale Carnegie and Tony Robbins inside the ads manager. Eventually you will. Facebook they have enabled this to be able to do and targeting, which is really cool, instead of or. So right now it's or, right? So they like either or. However, if you, like I said, if you're talking about the behavior stuff, and let's go to financial, and let's go to, you want to talk to somebody that, highly likely investor. So now I'm targeting somebody that either likes Dale Carnegie or Tony Robbins and also is highly likely an investor. And now we're at 220,000 people. So you can layer from this to this, and same with the connection targeting. So remember in the like campaign video, So in an upcoming video, I'm going to be talking about like campaigns, and one of the reasons why you want to be getting more fans is because I can do something like I can target somebody, let's say, that likes Tony Robbins. That's 2.1 million, but also has a friend that is a fan of Dominate Web Media, right? So I can do this. You can only use pages that you are an admin of. So now I went from 2.1 million to 190,000. So that's a lot better target audience, right? In this case, now the only people that are seeing this ad are people that like Tony Robbins but have a friend who's a fan of Dominate Web Media, and so they get that social proof, right? Because at the top of that ad, it'll say, Keith Krantz and 31 others also like Dominate Web Media, and you get that social proof, and it's huge. Higher click-through rates, lower cost per click, higher conversion rates. Okay, this stuff is really powerful. So there's a lot of ways you can layer in here, and you can start to layer with lookalike audiences. So let's say I want to, let's say I don't want to start 2 million. That's a little bit big for right now. I don't have a huge budget. I want to target, I know people that are into Tony Robbins, but I also want to target people that look like my customers. Okay. So let's go to lookalike US 1%. Okay. This is basically like 1% of the Facebook users in the US. Okay. These have similar likes, interests, and behaviors as my customers. All right. Now, Facebook, our ad account manager at Facebook told us they are now using 2,000 data points to create these lookalike audiences. It's unbelievable. All right, so what you can do is I can target somebody that likes Tony Robbins, but also has similar likes, interests, and behaviors as my customers or my leads. Okay, you can create lookalike audiences based off your website visitors, specific web pages, an email list that you upload, video views, a lot of stuff. So now we went from 2.1 million down to 120,000. So I can do a lot of things here. I can layer again if I want with income, right? So or a category, or let's go to a category, and these are some more that they added for me. But so let's just, right now I'm using a custom. Let's not use that because you're not going to have that. But let's type in. Let's go to more demographics and use financial income. So I want to target somebody that's over 100. Let's say over 100,000. So now I can choose all of these. And now I'm targeting somebody that likes Tony Robbins, has similar likes, interests, and behaviors as my customers, and makes over 100 grand a year, according to Facebook. I think I left out 125 grand a year, and now I've got 25,000 people. See that? Now you're not going to have much. You're going to run through that audience pretty fast. And what we've also noticed is that when you start to layer with these incomes, sometimes you don't get that many impressions. They don't seem to work as well as we like sometimes. So just realize that. A lot of times we find that sometimes just the interests only work really well, or really, really what we like the best is the lookalike overlay audiences, or eventually when you start to get lots and lots of leads, which I'll show you an example here in a second. But once you start to generate like literally hundreds, or preferably thousands of leads, you can start to just only target lookalike audiences. We have clients right now where there's no demographics targeting, there's no interest targeting, there's no connection targeting, nothing. All we're using is the lookalike audience, and it's getting the best results. It's the best ad set of all because of the data coming in. And I'll show you an example here. So if you look at this campaign here, this is a lookalike audience, 1%, and this is another lookalike audience. This is a little bit advanced here where we're targeting a 2% lookalike and we're excluding the 1% lookalike just to get to a different audience. This is just a 1% lookalike that's not overlaid with any interests, and the cost per lead, 38 cents, 31 cents, and these are the lowest. And compared to just some of these other ones that are typical interest targeting or overlaid with lookalike audience with interests. Okay. And this is also purely a lookalike audience here. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. Look at this. This is, I thought I ordered this in order of conversions. Let's try that again. There we go. So here we have some regular interests overlaid with lookalike audiences, regular interest audiences. They're all overlaid with lookalike audiences, except the top two is a lookalike only. There's no interest in here. This is a 1% lookalike. And this here is a little bit more advanced. It's a 2% lookalike minus a 1% lookalike. And look at this, 17 cents per lead, cost per lead, unbelievable. 31 cents, 35. Now this is not normal. Okay, this is not typical at all to have a cost per lead this low. This is a video ad, but and this is in a different market than like a business niche. But the point is that the lookalike audiences, there's no targeting. If you look here, you've got lookalike, and then down here, no interest targeting at all. Okay, so why does this work? Well, this wouldn't have started out this way, but the reason is because of all these original audiences here. We're doing regular interest targeting and interest targeting overlaid with a lookalike audience. Once we started generating several leads and we started getting like over 1,000, over 2,000 leads, now Facebook has so much data on those lookalike audiences. The pixel gets smarter and smarter and smarter, and now we don't even need to use targeting. So it's this perpetual momentum that you can get with your campaigns, which is really, really cool. So if you look, and that's what I'm talking about with overlay. So when I overlay something, that's when I'm targeting. Let's say I want to target Fabian Fredrickson, and overlaid with my customers, right? And now I got 55,000. let's say I generate, 2,000 leads doing this. Now I can start to test out, just targeting those leads. And you might have even a better audience. So this is what can happen with Facebook once you start to get more data, but it takes a while. It takes a while to get to there. So first, you're gonna be best off using your interest targeting. All right, so let's go back to audience insights here, and let's say we're targeting. Let's say I want to put in business coach. Business coaching isn't a very large audience, so it's a tough one. Business coach, business coaching. If you start to go into like coaching, now you're talking about, it could be anything. It could be about sports, right? Not like actual business coach. You have to be careful with some of these audiences. But let's say we want to put in somebody that like, Bill Barron or Fabian Fredrickson, right? We can start to look at say we look at Fabian Fredrickson. Okay, so now we're starting to get some data here, and let's say we want to, so let's say Bill Barron, let's say we're targeting business coaches, we'll put in Fabian Fredrickson, and we'll just start copying those and just pasting them in. Let's leave the top because blank in case down the road we want to start categorizing these. So like if I was in the fitness world, I might do nutrition and then like workouts, right? And then maybe just lifestyle, wellness kind of stuff, right? So that's kind of the things that you can do. Blogging, Facebook ads, email marketing. So for now though, we're just going to use this as a brain dump. That's all you're doing. Just copy and pasting. Okay. Bill Barron. Whoops. You're going to copy that and paste it over here. And the more you do this, don't worry about organizing it. Just start getting data in there, because as you get more names in there, you can start putting in different names into here. So I can put all these in my list, and then I can put Ali Brown in here and see what happens, right? Let's actually, Ali Brown, let's copy that one and put that over here. And we're going to continue just doing that all the way through, right? And now let's put Ali Brown in. And we got a little bit different answers, right? Some of them are similar, but we got Brennan Burchard now coming up, right? Brennan Burchard's a great one. And then these categories here can work really well. And you can start to do things like combine. You might target Ali Brown and I Love Network Marketing in one ad set, maybe. You can do these types of things. You can start putting all of these into your spreadsheet. Okay. Now, a couple things. One, just because it shows up in here doesn't mean it will show up inside the ads manager as an audience, as an interest that you can target. And I don't know what there is no exact rule on this. Basically, if a Facebook page has over, say, 80,000 fans, typically it will show up as an interest, but not all the time. And sometimes you see one with like 50,000 or 40 that shows up as an interest, and then another one's got 150,000 fans and it doesn't show up as an interest. So I don't know where they decide and how they decide to do that. So just realize that a lot of these names that will show up on your list here, you won't end up being able to use them as a target audience, but that's okay. Just start to make your list as big as possible. All right. The other thing to realize is that let's go over to Facebook search. So one of my favorite search to do is this one right here: pages liked by people who like Fabian Fredrickson. Let's do it over. So pages liked by people who like Fabian Fredrickson. So you'll have to select that down here. And notice how I'm actually getting some different results here. Fabian Fredrickson, let's go back over to the audience insights. And let's put in Fabian Fredrickson. So you've got Ali Brown, John Asseroff, Jack Canfield, Brennan Burchard, Marie Foley. A lot more women, because she targets mostly women, but coaches, right? And over here you've got Melanie Duncan, Frank Kern, Rise to the Top. So you've got some different. Notice you've got some different ones here. So you're going to start taking those and putting them over here, okay? Or you can type them if you want them to look the same, right? So what starts to happen is you start to see that these different platforms give you different results. Now let's go into the ad builder. Now let's go into the ad builder and see what kind of results they give us. So if I search Fabian Fredrickson, now look, we got Gina DeVee, Ali Brown, Boom Social, Marie Forleo, Daniel Laporte, Max Simon. So look at the differences here. This is Fabian Fredrickson here. Now I can look at more here, of course, but you're seeing some differences in there as in the same as the search. And so it's the same thing. If I go and I search, let's say, pages liked by people who like digital marketer, I've got John Loomer, Funnel Expert, Social Media, Ben Atkins, Smart Passive Income, Tanner Larson, etc., etc. And if I put in digital marketer here, whoops. Actually, let's use Ryan Dice. It's a better one. It's bigger. Ryan Dice, pages liked by people who like Ryan Dice. Frank Kern, Tim Ferriss, Perry Marshall, Lewis Howes, Rich Sheffrin, Seth Godin, etc., right? And audience insights, I've got, this is good stuff here, but this is typically better for target audience research. Robert Kiyosaki, Success, Tony Robbins, Ryan Dice, Digital Marketer, obviously. But you see there's a little bit different, okay? And you can order these in order of affinity, and they'll be slightly different too. Frank Kern, Lead Pages, James Wedmore, Digital Marketer, Life on Fire, Productivity Strategies. And you can see relevance is most relevant. Affinity is, how likely your audience is to like a given page compared to everyone else on Facebook. So they're a little bit different, but you'll want to look at those. And then also if I go to the ad builder, same thing. Ryan Dice, it's going to be slightly different. Mike Vilsame, Onyx Singal, Ed Dale, Joel Collins. See, some of those weren't showing up on the top over here, were they? Or over here. So over here. So basically, you're going to take all those results and move them over to your spreadsheet, no matter from which platform. And also, we did it in the ad builder. Also realize that the Facebook search, two things. One, they try to personalize this. So when I'm searching for things like, Ryan Dice, Frank Kern, those types of, Fabian Fredrickson audiences, they give me pretty good results, pretty accurate, because I have a lot of friends in those industries. So Facebook, notice how it says Frank Kern, and then it says Graham English, Ralph Burns, and 428 of my friends also like him. So they're ordering these in order of relevance to the search and also to how many of your friends like that. So a lot of times, if you're searching this for like one of your clients or an industry that none of your friends have anything to do with, the results in the search are not going to work very well with you at all. That's what's the bummer part about search. So if I search pages liked by people who like, let's put, wedding rings or something, wedding dresses. There we go. It's not going to probably show up, but it's really broad in that case. It's showing KFC and stuff, so it's kind of like, it's just not that good. But the great thing about search, though, especially if you do have friends in that industry or you can find somebody that does, is I can do something like pages like for people who like Frank Kern and Ryan Dice. So I can do that search. And now we're getting some different audiences now. See that? And Infusionsoft. For me, that's a pretty good audience, right? No, I'm targeting. Sometimes it looks like I threw off the search there a little bit and I had to click pages over here. Nah, it didn't work for some reason. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't get it. There we go. I didn't get the word "and" in there, so it screwed it up. That's all right. Too big of a search, but usually that does work. But it's just kind of acting up right now. Pages liked by people who like Dominate Web Media and Frank Kern. So those are good audiences for me, right? So this can work really, really well. And sometimes if the audience is like they try to localize or something at the top, sometimes you'll get better results towards the bottom. So it's kind of interesting. So just keep looking through. Look at this. This is we got a right column ad, and I'm betting this actually goes to a content amplification. This is a content amplification ad by Digital Marketer right now. How VRoll uses YouTube InStream. So if I click on this, this takes me to an article, case study, how VRoll does YouTube InStream ads. See that? This is a content amp, ungated, epic content. See that? And my guess is the calls to action at the bottom of this are going to a YouTube offer, YouTube type of offer, possibly, but maybe not. But let's look. Oh, it's just traffic and conversions, because that's going to be one of the tracks at traffic and conversion. Click here for early bird pricing. So that's one of them there. Let's go all the way to the bottom. And this is basically just focusing on traffic and conversion. But the point is that, that's a $700, depending on when people buy, dollar event or whatever, and they're using content. It's a multi-pronged approach. I don't want to get off topic here, but whenever I see something like that, it's good. It's good to see a good example, because people have a hard time buying in on this content amplification. But I'm telling you, it works. And remember, like I talked about in those first videos, that ad that I just clicked on, that click to website typically might cost Digital Marketer 40 cents, compared to if they were driving me to an opt-in page, it might cost them $1.50. They're just higher relevance usually, especially when they're in the newsfeed, and you get lower bounce rates. People stay longer when they're on a site like this and not a landing page, so that ends up giving you cheaper clicks, stuff like that. So, but basically, back to the targeting is you want to use all of these sources, and I'm telling you, these three tools, Facebook Audience Insights, Facebook Suggested Interest, and Facebook Search, are better than any paid tool that I've seen out there for finding target audiences. You spend 80% of your time using these tools, and the other 20 using some third-party tools, and using Google and Amazon, like I talked about, SimilarWeb, some of those other tools. But you're gonna really get a lot of data by using this. Okay, and remember, if you want to figure out, which one of these audiences are working best, then you might separate out Fabian Fredrickson as a separate ad set from Bill Barron, and Ali Brown as a separate ad set. But once you find that, maybe you take your top 5 or 6 interests, and then you group them all into one ad set and see how things go, and you might end up getting a better result. So you can do those types of things. Although one thing you want to realize is that if you've got if you're in that discovery phase, and let's say you want to target like email marketing platforms. So let's put in like Aweber, for example, here. Come on, what's going on here? Oh, I'm not an interest, that's why. Let's put in Aweber. So if you put in Aweber, and it's not loading right now, but let's say you've got Aweber, Ryan Dice lead pages, these types of things. So these are all, I would see these as separate out. However, let's say you've got Aweber in here, and you also have GetResponse, MailChimp. These three right here are all pretty much the same. So I would combine those into one ad set, even if you're in that discovery phase. Okay, if you've got like 3 or 4 audiences that are pretty much the same, don't separate them out. You're wasting your time. So just think about that too. If you've got stuff that's fairly similar, there's just be smart about it. It's not one size fits all. That's the important thing that I can't stress enough. Okay. All right. So that is it for this video. Now, your mission is to go right now, start doing your target audience research. And this is going to be, you're going to spend a lot of time at the beginning doing this, but also once you start to run your campaigns, you're going to start to look at your reporting, and then you'll start to see what audiences are working best. And you can go back to these tools and then start to refine your audiences, then maybe start to, product or categorize some of your audiences, those types of things. All right. Hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.